Very good afternoon to all of you, dear student. Today, my topic is legal communication, in which I will tell you how communication is important and what is its importance in modern judiciary system. Communication, we know that legal communications are concerned with employees having the understanding to not violate ethics standards and law pertaining to business communication. Or we also can understand this in this manner. This means lawyers must understand how to effectively convey a message while ensuring the risk understanding the intention and the purpose behind the message. Effective communication is about how you say something, why you say it, when you say it, your body language, and what you don't say. And ultimately, the purpose of this is what kind of communication during your behavior, during your communication with others, are you telling and are you doing? And no doubt, body language and your verbal communication, as well as the content which you people are using during communication, matters many more. Types of legal communication, I will tell you. There are different types of legal communication, but especially there are few, those are very important. That is communication, it can be expressed in three different ways. First is written communication. Written document is very important, that can provide you future evidence and a kind of fact that is required on time. Second communication is verbal communication. That is oral communication. We people talk between each other and share our ideas and feelings from one to another. And third one is non-verbal communication. That is your body language, because body language is also very important during communication, because how do you react, what kind of attitude do you have, either it is negative and positive, it matters on the communication when you people are talking with your sender or receiver both. Simultaneously, in legal communication, verbal and non-verbal communication are very important. That tells you about your quality as well as your knowledge about the legal assets or the terms that are important and useful for effective legal or judiciary system. See, most of the time we applied contract and become a source of while contract and become easily enforceable. All these things, all these terms of communication in the court when we are talking. So these types are very important. Next, we are coming, if the communication is there, legal communication there, so is there any mode of language like legal language in the term of communication? Yes, legal language is also very important. That plays a very important role when we communicate to the people. How to communicate, what kind of content, what kind of words should be there, so that we could make our listener positive. A legal language is a formalized language based on logic, rules, which differs from the ordinary natural language in vocabulary, morphology, syntax, and semantic, as well as other linguistic features aimed to achieve consistency, validity, completeness, and soundness while keeping the benefit of a human being. That is also important, where we talk to the people based on the language and try to solve their problem, try to motivate, try to make them positive by the suitable and positive mode of language. Next, we are coming that if these things are, so is there any importance of communication for legal studies? Yes. In legal studies, communication is that which shares the information from sender to receiver with a fruitful and positive result and a systematic feedback. See, if you are a good communicator, you will also find it easy to convey your deeds about investigating the cases that you take on. Without a proper communication skill, you will most likely end up making costly mistakes that will take time and money to resolve these. So communication is that which plays important role in judiciary or in day-to-day life when we are working with people, those who are related to law or legal field. Next, we are coming laws of communication. Is there any law for communication? Is there any systematic rules and regulation? Is there any way by which we people could make communication positive, prosper, or fruitful for others? Yes, we can make it. See, communication, as we already I have told you, very important in modern age of science and technology as well as in legal area. So there are few important laws by which we can make this communication excellent, fruitful, and positive in listening and for a positive result. There are 7 C's of communication, and all these are principles that you should ensure all of your communication adhere to. Their purpose is to help and ensure that the person you are communicating with hears what you are trying to say. It also makes the communication effective and fruitful. These laws of communication are many more, but there are few rules or laws of communication. These are very important. First one is clear. I mean, your communication when you are in your case, when you are talking with your client, when you are talking with people, then your communication should be very clear. That could inform to your client or to your listener very clearly. Second is correct. Your communication should be correct. It should be based on the content which you people are providing or the document either in written or in oral. Third one is complete. The information which you people are providing, that should be complete. It couldn't create misunderstanding among the client and the lawyer. Third one is concrete. It must be a mode of concrete information to satisfy the listener. Next one, it should be concise. See, when we are communicating, it should not be more brief and lengthy because it will create boring among the listeners. So it should be concise, it should be precise, short and selective, because in a momentum, whatever information you people are providing to your client, to your assistant, or to those who are listening will be more effective. Comparatively, you are giving them uh, a brief or lengthy information regarding the communication which you people are communicating with. Next one is considered. The communication which you people are doing in your legal, that should be completely based on facts so that it could be considered as most or as fruitful communication. Second one, last one and very important is courteous. The communication which you people are communicating with, that should be with politeness and kindness. If you want to make that people could listen you, it should be very kind, it should be very polite, it should be positive. Because if there is any negativity in your communication, like your communication is filled with violence, it is filled with negativity, it is filled with in a cruelty or in a very rude or ill manner, nobody will respect you, nobody will listen you. Simultaneously, if your communication is kind, polite, humble, supportive, positive, as well as cooperative, everybody will like you and they will consider you as a good legal advisor or a good or literate person from legal in itself. Next, we are also coming, is there any effect or is there any systematic way by which we could make our communication very effective so that people could listen it? Yes, there are many points, there are many different keys area. By their help, we can make this communication very excellent. We can make this communication fine. We can make this communication fruitful for everyone. These key points for effective communication in legal are as follows. Few of them are given below. Number one, keep it smile. Yes, when you are communicating with someone and you are smiling little bit, it means it is showing your positivity towards the receiver whom you people are communicating. Second, eliminate technical jargon. Try to eliminate your technical words. These are very important to satisfy the different queries or quench related to the case of your client. Number next, be concise. In my previous point, I have already told you that if you are concise about your communication, everybody will like you, but not too concise. I mean, your communication should be short, but it should not be so much short that your listener could not listen it properly. So kindly make your communication effective when you people are talking with your listeners. Second, avoid abbreviation and acronyms. Abbreviation sometimes creates problem because there is one abbreviation and their meanings are different. Suppose we are giving some abbreviation to our client BBC. It means British Broadcasting, but there are other meanings also. So during communication, we should try to avoid abbreviation to make our communication in legal, positive and prosper and good for listening. Second, reduce the use of canned phrases. Try when you are communicating, try to reduce the phrases or try to reduce unusual words in communication that will create conflict and confusion among the listener's mind. Second, we controversial. We, when you are in controversial position, try to make your communication positive and try to divert those controversial words and make it conversable, make it positive, make it fine or clear in a very simple and lucid language. Second, is there any process of communication in law? When we people are talking about legal communication, then question again comes that is there any systematic process in communication? Yes. See, communication, we already know the word communication has been taken from the Latin word communicare. It means to sharing the information, ideas, feelings, emotions, and views to satisfy the different kinds of to satisfy different kinds of questions or queries of the clients or the listener. So communication can be expressed in three ways. That is, number one, already I have told you, written. Second is spoken, and third one is body language, or means verbal or non-verbal communication. By this, we can make our communication positive and good for the listeners. Or effective communication ensures everyone is aware of what is expected to them and what action they need to take. You cannot understand how important trust is in the lawyer-client relationship. Communicating effectively with your client means you foster greater trust in your abilities as a lawyer. This is correct. When your communication is good, it is affecting, it is based on your clarity of ideas, clear communication, positivity, your mode of communication, your smoothness, your sweet smile, your supportive nature, your politeness. All these things make you greater as an advocate or a communicator also. Because if these things are not there, or other negativity is there, that will make your client or your listener negative about you, so they will not pay attention towards the word which you people are telling them. So especially in the process of communication in law is that we should make a very polite and positive communication to make a good relationship between lawyer and client based on the communicative activity. There are some important points. There are few other also key areas by which we can make this communication process very effective. See, communication has different ideas, different key points. Few are, number one, idea information. Whenever you are talking in communication, there should be a systematic information or an idea that could satisfy the different kinds of queries of your client. Second is encoding. Whatever idea you are encoding in your communication, that should be very nice. Second, selection of a systematic channel. That is channel selection. Your channel selection should be very good so that it could not create any kind of barrier during communication between sender and receiver. Next one is a decoding. When you are decoding the idea, when you are writing the idea, when you have planned that I will send this idea, that should be very nice. And ultimately, when you will write this kind of systematic process of communication, you will see that your feedback will be positive. Simultaneously, if you are doing thing wrong, if you are doing thing negative, then your communication will not be fine. So your communication process totally will be fail. Anything that interfere with clear communication is called noise. It is also a barrier of communication. A noise can interfere with each step of the communication process. So when communication is there, this noise should not be there when we are talking or we are giving some ideation with a systematic encoding by the help of proper channel, decoding the idea to find out the good and positive feedback. So noise, any kind of barrier should not be there, because if barrier will be there, that will create confusion among the listener or the sender, and both sender and receiver both will be confused because of the barrier. So when we are communicating, during communication process, it should be identified that if there is any barrier, that should be easily removed from the process. There are few other key to effective communication. One is verbal communication. Already I have told you, don't go to depend on the emails, because when you are in verbal communication, you should talk to the people face to face, because it is fully helpful to remove the grievances or the problem whatever we have between each other. Second word is good listening. Good listening skills are crucial for effective legal communication. In legal, when you are talking to the people, are listening them properly, that will be systematically helpful to solve your problem, and ultimately your client will be positive about yourself. And sound counsel, try to counsel soundly. I mean, whatever problems your client or the people, those who are directly and indirectly connected with you have, could easily be counseled, and whenever they are going, they should be positive about you with a sweet smiling faces, with a positive attitude, openness, curiosity, value, persuasion. You should be fully open with your clients during communication. A kind of valuable communication should be there, so that they could make it fine, so that they could listen you, or could pay attention towards the word which you people are delivering, which you people are telling them. Otherwise, if there will be no sound counsel, openness, or maybe any curiosity will not be there, it will not be valuable. Ultimately your communication will not be so much effective as you people have planned. And especially in legal, if these kind of things are not there, that will make your client very confused, and they will not consider you as a good legal advisor or advocate. Key to effective communication. See, what are the effective communication key areas, or is there any guideline that can make the communication very effective? Yes. First is listening. In my this point, I am focusing many times listening, listening, and listening. Because if you are a good listener, you can be a good speaker. If you cannot listen, you cannot speak properly. Second, what you are telling two matters. What are you telling? That should be based on fact or factual ideas. Body language matters. Your body language, when you are talking with your clients, it should be positive, fruitful, or fine, so that that could make the listener positive about you. Second, check your message before you hit send. When you are sending any message to your friends, to your client, or to those who want to listen you, kindly check it twice or maybe thrice before send. Be brief and specific. When you are writing your message in legal communication, you should be very much brief, and there should be specific communication. Before writing communication, try to write down the things. These are very important, that will make you a good communicator, or that will make you fine in communication in itself. Sometimes it is better to pick up the phone. See, when you are communicating with your client, with your people, with your other friend, so avoid your phone or your telephonic communication, because that will make your communication poor. So please avoid your communication when you are talking. Think before you speak. This is very, very clear, because since my schooling days, I have also listened the same from my teachers, that when you are going to speak, kindly think before, because spoken words cannot come back. So when you are speaking, before that, at least once, twice, think that, is there any error in my communication? Is there anything wrong in my communication? Or is there anything, bad or negative in my communication? Because that can make your client negative about you. See, next is effective legal communication. How can I make the effectiveness in my legal communication? How can I make effectiveness in the communication? That is very, very important. See, lawyers must understand how to effectively convey a message while ensuring the recipient understands the intention and the purpose behind the message. So when you are talking with your clients, first of all, you should try to ensure that your message should be good, and whatever intention is there in your message, that should be filled with positive and practical message that will make your listeners positive. Second, effective communication is about how you say something, why you say it, when you say it, even your body language, and what you don't say. These are very, very important. See, communication is about your content. Communication is about your inner feelings also. Communication is about the content which you have in your mind. Either it is negative or it is positive. When your communication is negative, that will make people negative as well as unhappy about you. And simultaneously, they will avoid your communication. When you are talking with your clients in a very positive manner, Your communication should be fruitful, content should be positive, and a positive body language should be there when you are talking with your clients. That will focus or will highlight your knowledge, experience, and your quality, as well as the content which you are telling is very good, and ultimately you will be considered a knowledgeable and fine person based on your communication. Because communication is ultimately an art. When we are communicating with someone, before communicating the word, we should try to understand the psychology of the listeners, what kind of a listener he or she is, and what kind of content am I providing to them. That will make my communication very effective in legal, and if you are in marketing or in business also, that will also help to satisfy your customers. And if there is perfect customer satisfaction by your communication, that will ultimately increase the benchmark of the product which you people want to launch in the market for your profit. Next is need of effective legal communication. This is very, very important. What is the need of effective communication? Why effective communication is required in legal? Why effective communication is so much important for the student, especially those who are reading legal course? Dear student, let me tell you, not only in legal field, communication or effective communication is very important in every field, either it is science and technology, marketing, maybe engineering, law, medical, or our day-to-day life. So this communication plays a very important role. Effective communication ensures everyone is aware of what is expected of them and what action they need to take. You cannot underestimate how important trust is in the lawyer-client relationship. Communicating effectively with your client means you foster greater trust in your abilities as a lawyer. Correct? When you communicate with your client, that makes your positive and good relation between your client. It is called lawyer-client positive relationship. And communicating effectively with that client, with that listener, it identify that you are a lawyer filled with a different kind of ability as well as positivity about the field or about the message, whatever you want to circulate. Need of effective legal communication. What is the need of effective communication? Again, I am also telling, by delivering message clearly, there is no place for understanding or alteration or message which decreases the potential of conflict. In a situation where conflict does arise, effective communication is a key factor to ensure that the situation is resolved in a respectful manner. This is, very fine that when you talk effectively with someone, it indicates that you are a person of respect and you know about the respect and its importance in both sides, from senders as well as receivers side. See, there are few key points for legal communication. By the help of these key points, we can make our communication very nice. See, in this presentation, I will try to highlight that how can we make our communication more important, that will be helpful in legal as well as in management also. First is basis of decision making and planning. When you are in legal, you should be a very good decision maker and you should be a good planner. Whenever you are going to file your case, before that you should make proper study of your case with a systematic planning. A smooth and effective working on the organization. See, when you are going to file any case or going to do any work, it is completely teamwork. So when there is some positivity and positive effectiveness in your team, that will be a kind of success. Facilitate coordination. We should try to facilitate coordination in our team. Increase managerial efficiency. When you are positive about your team, you have good relation, good communicative relation, every team member, then ultimately it will be a cause of your fruitful success. That is very, very important, even in legal also. And increase managerial efficiency. If you are, a lawyer or head of any organization or maybe any company or any case, then at that time you should be a very nice or a good team leader to make our team positive or to satisfy or to motivate every member of the team. That is possible when you will increase your managerial efficiency, when you will increase your managerial skill, when you will be positive about every member of your team, then that will provide you success in itself. And next is promotes cooperation and industrial peace and helps. You should be helpful in nature. You should be a peaceful and harmonious personality when you are communicating. That can make your legal communication effective. That can make your legal communication fine comparatively others. And by this positive and nice communication, your popularity will grow day by day and your client will be satisfied. And whenever he will come to you, will be positive about the comments or the content which you people are providing to him during your communication. Thank you. Thank you very much.